Dean, tell us your story.
Where shall I start? So, I just fell in love with it and bought the monkey. And instead of getting rid of the C90, I got rid of the Speedmaster. And I've not had a big bike for like 7 years now.
What is Monkey Dix Adventures all about?
I started just like filming just to see if I could find out if anybody else had monkeys and meeting up with other people who had them as well. I love the challenge of doing something on something that's ridiculous. We do set these self-written objectives. We push ourselves to a certain thing where we're saying, I've got to achieve this goal. Obviously, you don't need a big bike to do big miles, but it just takes a lot frigging long to get there.
Down in the dirt.
So let's try this. I'm done? No. I was just going to press something then, but it was going to leave the studio. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll make do with it. I'll make do with a mini Bruce.
Lovely old job. Awesome. Are you all right just to crack on? We just get stuck
no
in?
problem. Yeah.
Beautiful. Happy days. Folks, welcome back to Bru Time. This week we're having a chat with Dean Lambert, also known as Monkey Dix Adventures. How you doing?
I'm also bad, thank you.
Awesome. Good man. You just got home, haven't you?
Well, I got home the other day from the ABR, in the Tuk Tuk.
When did you get back from your... We'll get into all of this anyway, but when did you get back from your Irish trip?
Irish trip. It was probably about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, was it? Right. I thought it was literally last week, just before ABR kind of thing. Cool. Well, we'll chat about the Irish trip later in the episode. But how was ABR? I was just catching up on socials from people.
Yeah, it was grand. It's just really, really hot. I mean, when I went in the Tuk Tuk, because I enjoyed the Irish trip so much with the one that I lent off Tuk Tuk UK, that I bought one. They're amazing, absolutely amazing, Bruce. You'll love it. I have to get you in there at some point. But so I went to Warwickshire from Manchester to the ABR in the Tuk Tuk, and I'd taken like 6 bottles of like 2-litre waters, 24 cans of Sprite, and some beer as well. But I mean, I was thinking of keeping myself hydrated with the heat, and I'd got a cool box. But by the time I got there, the cool box was like warm, and everything was warm that you tried to drink. It was it was hard just trying to keep cool.
I was thinking of you all actually, because the last time I think I was last there in 23, I think was the last one I did, or 22 was the last one, and it was hot then. It was mid-30s the whole time. I was
it always seems to be hot for the ABRs, doesn't it? Just
I know,
on the right weekend.
Yeah, I know. Silverstone should listen, shouldn't they, and put the MotoGP on that weekend.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not actually. Nobody would turn up, obviously. But it looked good. There's 20,000 people. Is that right?
Yeah, there was a lot there. Awful lot. Yeah.
It's crazy, isn't it? Wow. Mega. Right, anyway, we're not here to chat about the ABR. Dean, what's the crack? Tell us your story.
Where shall I start? So, like you mentioned in your preview thing, I used to have big bikes. So I had the GS 1200 Adventure, the triple black one. Loved it. Lovely bike. But when my wife moved in, I was having to do 8 car moves just to get out on my bike. So I'd have to move her car and my car out, get the bike out, put them both back in, go for a ride, come back, 2 out, 2 in. So he was sat behind the wheel of a car 8 times just to go for a ride. So if he wasn't going for like a full day, it was just a waste of time. So I got the Speedmaster after that because I could fit one of those around the side of the house. But loved the big bikes. But I used to watch a lot of Ed Marsh on C90 Adventures. Absolutely loved his stuff. So I ended up buying a C90. So I always had a small bike and a big bike. And then I was going to, for my 50th, so I'm like 56 now, for my 50th, I was going to go and get one of the Super Cubs and get rid of my old Cub and do like Land's End Johnny Groats and bits and pieces like that. But when I got to Wigan Honda at the time, they'd got a monkey in there. And I had an ST70 when I was a kid over the fields. and I just fell in love with it and bought the monkey. And instead of getting rid of the C90, I got rid of the Speedmaster, and I've not had a big bike for like 7 years now. So, yeah.
So initially, it was just the practicalities of having a big bike. Basically, that's what started?
That was part of it. But I mean, I'd enjoy watching Ed March's stuff. You know, when he's like riding through Iran and things like that. And I don't know, it kind of like just fired me back up again and made me think back to like your early times in biking, you know, with the CB100Ns and things like that, and trying to do little jumps and stuff. And you was out. So yeah, I got it for the fun factor, the C90. But I started finding, especially when I got the monkey, I was going to end up getting another big bike again, but I was having so much fun on it. And because you don't need to be going like 90, 100 mile an hour, you know, to have fun. You know, it's the old adage, isn't it, about riding a slow bike fast, as opposed to a fast bike slow.
Yeah, you still get the sensation that you're thrashing it, because you are thrashing it. But like, obviously, I'm not sure what sort of proportions you are, but I'm 6'3", 20 odd stone. You're thrashing it. The thing's doing like 28, 29 mile an hour, but you just have that. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love riding the little 125s. It's great fun. Love it.
Yeah.
To the extent where I was even having a little look at getting one, to be honest, but I've not made that leap yet. Not made the leap yet.
Yeah, we'll have to get you on a monkey.
Yeah, I like the Dax. Is it the Dax? Is that what they call it?
Yeah. The Dax. I'm like on the fence with the Dax, because I mean, I know it's like it's the most like the ST70 that I used to have, but I couldn't see the point in it, because you know they got the the Super Cub, they got the CT125, etc. And when they brought that one out, I think the main thing about the ST70 was the fact that you could fold the handlebars down, you could pick it up and you could put it in the back of your car, or your dad could put it in the back of his car and take it somewhere. Yeah. But so the Dax, I think they missed the trick by having it so big without the handlebars going down. You know, they could have made it a little bit more portable. Then I think, I don't know. I think I'd have liked it a bit better.
I didn't even know anything about them. It's just purely because I was on the website having a look at the monkeys, and then I saw that, and I was like, "Oh, I've seen many of them around." And then that's what made me go, "All right, get one of them rather than the monkey bike." But we'll see. So, Monkey Dix Adventures. What is Monkey Dix Adventures all about? First off, how'd you get the name?
Well, when I was a kid, obviously my name's Dean, so my mates used to call me Dixie, especially one of my mates, Rob. He called me Dixie all the time when I was growing up. So it was like Dixie Dean. And then because I'd got the monkey, I wasn't going to start a YouTube channel, but I went for the first 18 months of having the monkey. There was none of them around. And I didn't see anybody at all for 18 months who had another monkey bike. So I started just like filming just to see if I could find out if anybody else had monkeys, and, you know, just start meeting up with other people who had them as well. Yeah. And it just started growing from there. Yeah,
so when did Monkey Dix start? When did you start your channel?
So my channel started 5 years ago, a couple of weeks back. It was 5 years since I started.
Right. So did you have any? Sorry, apologies. Sorry to interrupt. On you go.
No, just saying. I started the channel about best part of 2 years after I'd got my monkey bike, and what I was doing, I was doing these videos called "You Meet the Nicest People on a Honda," where I'd just take the monkey bike somewhere like Rivy Barn, and there'd be loads of people milling about, and because it used to just draw people to it, especially like middle-aged blokes that just come over and say, I had something like that when I was a kid. And they'd said, but it's just too small for me. I just said, sit on it and see how you feel. And they'd sit on it because it's got quite a wide seat. They'd just feel like they were on a big bike, even though they're only on a little monkey. And what I'd always do as well, I mean, I just said to them, oh, it really suits you, that. And it's amazing just to see the faces change. It's unbelievable. So that was one of the things I used to say a lot. And the other one was, there's always room for one in the garage. And it became a bit of like a tagline. And people would say it to me when they'd seen the videos and stuff. Like, there's always room for one in the garage. And my dad, he said to me one day, he says, Dean, he says, why do you keep being so repetitive with these videos? He says, you're always saying the same things. It suits you. I said, Dad, I said, just watch their faces. When I tell them it suits them, they just sat there like that, just like, and then all of a sudden you'll say, it really suits you, that. And they kind of like sit up and they think, oh, it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
And they've ended up selling quite a few monkey bikes because of those early videos. I think I lost count after about 15 people telling me that they'd bought a monkey because they'd been watching them, which, it's great to see people like re-engaging with biking.
Yeah, definitely. Do you think, I mean, I definitely think, I think the future of biking in the UK is going to be smaller CC bikes. I don't know if quite it'll be the 125s, but I definitely think sort of sub 500 CC. I think that's where there's going to be the next sort of growth, personally. Because I think the big bikes are just getting so expensive now, and the demographic on the whole, the majority of the demographic is getting older. And they're not wanting to be pushing 230, 250 kilogram adventure bikes around the place anymore, or spending 20, 25 grand on a bike. I think, especially with these new Chinese bikes that are all coming in, the lower CC ones seem to be making a chunk in sales.
Yeah, I've had a lot of people come up to me talking about the monkey, especially when they bought one or bought a similar small bike, saying that, they were just finding it too difficult to maneuver because they're getting older. Because it's mad. I mean, I'm 56, but a lot of my friends are like in the 60s and 70s and stuff as well.
Same. Yeah, same.
Yeah, so don't get me wrong. I do miss that feel of the big bike sometimes, where you just like on a motorway and just go to a slip road and just give a little bit of a zip and you're there. But I think
how effortless it is.
Yeah, but I think the thing that I really, really love about these small bikes like the Monkeys and the CT is a fantastic bike, is when you go and do something, like say that 4,000-mile ride around the UK, if I'd have done that on a bigger bike, I just wouldn't have felt the same. I mean, it's the fact that you think to yourself, part of the adventure is that, bringing up, should you really be doing this on this bike? I had a guy on it was on a Triumph, a 1200 Triumph, and he came over to me and had my bike all packed up, this CT125 up in Scotland, and he says, "Where have you been to with that?" He said, "Have you been to shops?" And I said, "No." I said, "I'm 2,000 miles into a 2,600 mile ride." I said, "Where have you been? Starbucks?" And he just laughed. He said, "Yeah." And I went, I know that's like, and I only said it as a bit of a joke because it is a bit of a generalization, isn't it? I mean, when I had my GS, I think the furthest I went with it was at Matlock. I didn't use it to its potential. I mean, I wish I'd have known about, like your clan things when I had my GS, because I'd probably still have it now. I'll be honest.
Yeah. So, are you enjoying the podcast? If you are, please let everyone you know about it. Sharing at the moment is the biggest trigger for the algorithm. Obviously, you need to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. But if you can just tell one mate about the podcast, share it across to them, that helps tenfold. I love doing the podcast. I'm really trying to grow it this year, and you can help me out by doing that. So I'll love you forever if you do. Whilst I'm on the topic of support, folks, the only reason I can do the podcast and the YouTube channel and everything like that full time is because of my Patreon. In the clan itself, we do meetups, we do live streams. You'll get early access to the vids. You get first choice on the questions on this podcast. And you'll also get exclusive early access to my chicken strips tours when they're released. If you want to check it out, head to patreon.com/TeapotOne. And if there's anything there that takes your fancy, feel free to support me over on there. Why do you think that, other than like having people round about you who were riding, what was stopping you doing like bigger trips when you had the big bike?
I think work was a big thing, because you only get so many weeks off, etc. So I retired last August early. I've had a 25-year plan for retirement, and that's freed me up to start doing the bigger trips. I mean, I've done the one that I call the Monkey Garden Hopping Tour, the 2,600 mile one. But it's only after I retired that I really thought, right, I can start doing these bucket list items now. Because my bucket list is called the Seaside Shenanigans Tour, and I want to do the entire European coastline over about 10 trips. So I started with the UK with the CT125, then Ireland in the Tuk Tuk, and then I'm going to go down to mainland Europe and start heading across and do chunks of that until I've done it all.
Mega.
That's my plan. I mean, with being like married and stuff, it's not the kind of thing you can do like your trip. I mean, 442 days, wasn't it? Yours?
Yeah.
I mean, bloody hell, that is just absolutely mega.
Yeah,
you've got to cut your thing according to your cloth according to your pockets, haven't you? Whatever they say.
Well, yeah, that was a lifetime, or not even a lifetime. That was a goal I set myself, and I've spent years planning it and saving and sold everything I owned to do it. And I met my wife during the planning, so she came along, and this was already happening. So it was just a case of, right, well, I'm going away. If you're around when I come back, happy days. And we stayed together the whole way, and she came out and met me a couple of times, and it all just worked out. But I always say to people, those big trips that you've got to, in fact, it's not even like disappearing for a year and a half trips. It's like, the trips that we do, these endurance rides that you do, you've got to want to do them, because they're not easy, are they? No. I don't know how long you took to do the 4,000 miler or 2,600 miler, but it's still a big personal. So it's a personal and mental commitment, isn't it? And then if you do it up against the clock, like I'm busy with my tours and running the businesses and stuff, so there's just set little chunks where I can go, right, I've got 3 days or 4 days. I'll go and do one of the, my UK, round the UK type things. And that's kind of why I just do it non-stop. And that's just a mental thing, that's just, you set it in your head, don't you? And that's it. You're just going to go and do it. But they're not easy. You just do them, don't you?
Yeah, it's just, I think we do put pressure on ourselves to achieve self-written objectives. We write our own objectives. Then, like I do myself, and I feel as I'm failing if I don't do what I've set out to do. Yeah, but I really enjoy doing them.
Yeah, is that fear of failure? Is that in case you let other people down, or is that like a personal thing? Because for me personally, I'm not really worried about what anyone else says. It's me, it's like a battle that goes on in my head with me.
To a point. So, I mean, I did things like the 100-kilometer walk, the trail walker for Oxfam. And the Gurkhas. I've done that twice, and I just know that I couldn't not finish it. Once I've set myself a target, I've got to do it. But it's changed a little bit now, because when I did the garden hopping tour, the 2,600 mile one, that one went down to, I set off from Manchester down to the south coast. But it was that Storm Anthony when we went. It was horrific. There was like 3 of us on little bikes. On the way there, we stopped at Munstead Tower and had a cup of tea with Elspeth Beard.
Elspeth Beard, yeah.
Yeah. She'd like invited us, so we went there on the way down. Slept on a Land Rover floor on the first night on the south coast. Then we did the Isle of Wight, like a loop of that. Then wild camped at Stonehenge, Land's End, up to John O'Groats, North Coast 500, and back down again. That was, yeah. But I don't know what my point was going to be now, but
But the mental side of it, like what keeps you going?
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say. So that one was for I did it for Andy's Man Club, and I'll talk about mental health in a little while. But I did that one for Andy's Man Club, and then when I came up with the Seaside Shenanigans tour, because I'd noticed that most of my bucket list items had something to do with the seaside and the sea, you know. So I thought, right, I might as well do it all, like up in Europe anyway. So I'd do that. But then, because you're going to be doing it anyway, you think, well, let's try to make sure that some good comes out of it. So, my mum had survived breast cancer, and my wife Kay, she'd had a lump on her bladder, and she had that removed, and they thought it was cancerous. We went through the mill for about 2 months, and then we found out that it wasn't. But I wanted to find like a small charity for cancer that that everything wasn't going to the CEOs and stuff like that. And I'd taken the CT to because I did it with the CT with the wingman for the road 2 tent on, which was just way too big for the bike. It was ridiculous. But I'd taken it to where I get my car fixed, and these 2 old chaps were just chatting with me, asking about the bike, and told them what I was going to be doing it for, and I was looking for a charity. And one of them had his wife had like ovarian cancer, and the other one's wife had died of breast cancer. And he said, there's a charity called Buto Breast Cancer, run by Debbie Dowie, and her husband, he was the, can't think of his first name, but the footballer, Dowie. I can't
it's wrong sport for me, sorry, pal.
Yeah, sorry. I just can't believe it's not come to mind, because, I know him. But anyway, she runs the charity, Debbie Dowie. She had breast cancer in 2010, and they've raised over £2 million, and every single penny goes towards breastfeeding equipment, which is absolutely amazing. So I did the round the UK Tuk tour for them, and then I did the Ireland one with the Tuk Tuk with the breast cancer logos and stuff on the side. And then when I got back, they made me an ambassador for Buto Breast Cancer, which is a real honour.
Nice.
That's really good. So when you're saying about giving up, I don't believe I can give up now, because I wouldn't want to let the charity down.
Yeah.
So I think it's gone more from just sheer bloody mindedness with me to the fact that, there's not like others counting on you.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember, like on my big trip, I had some charities on board, and it's definitely a factor, isn't it? I haven't done like my own endurance rides. I haven't done them for charity, to be honest. Maybe I should start doing that, but I haven't. But it does. It adds something to it, doesn't it? For sure. I was just about to say, do you have a tipple at hand?
Yeah, I've got some red wine. What are you on?
It's to your hill. This is actually, believe it or not, in my beer fridge in the garage, all I've got left is alcohol-free beer. We had a barbecue last year, and obviously everyone drank the booze, and there was all the alcohol-free was left. So I've finished all the proper beer, and I'm on the alcohol-free now. But it's all right. It's not great, this one, I've got to admit.
Yeah.
It'll do, though. It's cold and wet at the moment. Going on your is it the garden tour you called it? Was that what the 4,000 mile one?
No. So the garden hopping tour was the 2,600 one down to the Isle of Wight, and rounded up to Land's End to Johnny Gross, etc. That was that one. That one, it was called the garden hopping tour because the Monkey Revolution had put out on there that I was doing the trip, and people just kept saying, well, you can camp in my garden. So kind of jumped onto that and thought, right, we'll call it the garden hopping tour, because that's basically what I'm doing on the way around.
Yeah. Kalimoto. If you've not been using Kalimoto, you've not tried it out yet. I've been using it since about 2017, 2018 now. brilliant bit of kit if you want to try and find new roads, either in your local area or you go somewhere new and you don't really know. You can just whack it on. You can check how twisty you want the ride to be. You can split it into different sections and have different sections have different twisty meter readings. So you could motorway it on one bit, do a bit of A-road on another, and then chuck it into the backcountry, massive twisty lanes, that sort of stuff for the rest of the journey. It's entirely up to you. Does take a bit of getting used to, so if you have any issues with it, please drop me a line and I'll help you out as much as I can. In the meantime, if you want to give it a go yourself, I've got a couple of codes for you. TeapotOne 10 will get you 10% off the annual subscription. TeapotOne 30 gets you 30 days of the full premium package. Massively helps me out as well, folks. Kalimoto have been one of my main channel sponsors for about the last 5 or 6 years now. So if you use my codes, it lets them know you've come from me. Okay, let's get back to the chat. What's the most random, obscure place you found yourself staying at night?
I think on this last trip, the very last night in Ireland, because I went across to Dublin, then went clockwise around the entire coast. And I've got to a place near Newcastle in Ireland. And I'd been told about this campsite called the Car Park Campsite. And I went to it, and it was on top of this hill, and it was basically just a car park with like a portaloo. And it was blowing a gale, and I thought, sod that for a game of soldiers. So I looked on my phone, found this glamping site, and I thought I'll just ask him if I can pitch a tent, because it was getting on a bit. So I got to it, Willow Tree glamping site, and there were a couple called Kira and Derek. So Kira came out and she saw what I was doing it for, and she had breast cancer last year. So she said, right, she said, tonight, she said, you're staying in the yurt. She said, I'll get the yurt ready. Derek will take you to the Crannog. And they've got this massive Crannog that he'd built during the lockdown. And the roof on it is absolutely amazing. And he said that there was about 4 builders who'd said to him, it's not possible this, you'll not be able to build it. And he's got this metal ring, and then he's got telegraph poles and every other one's supporting coming down. And it was weird. As we're just chatting, he looked at the doorway of this Crannog and he said, I reckon we could get your Tuk Tuk in here. It was really, we just hit it off straight away. So I drove the Tuk Tuk in, and I'm driving it round inside this Crannog that he's got.
I saw that on your vid. Yeah.
While Kira was getting the yurt ready. And then they made me tea and ended up, because I took my accordion with me. So one of the sons was playing the guitar, we're singing and playing the accordion. And we're doing that and drinking till about 1:45 in the morning. It was absolutely fantastic. And it was just lovely to meet people like that. And the yurt was amazing as well.
Yeah. And also travel, even here in our own country and over in Ireland, travel just presents these random obscure moments to you, doesn't it? It doesn't seem to matter where you are in the world. If you're traveling, particularly by motorbike, people just seem to open up their lives to you. It's crazy.
And I think it's very, very similar. It's the same with the small bikes. You find that people come across and talk to you anyway, and they spoke to me on the CT because it's just a small bike but with shitloads of stuff on it. It was absolutely way packed down. So it just looked ridiculous. So people knew you was on a big trip. And then, because I just seen a message come up then from somebody. Sorry. Yeah, so people knew it was on a big trip. But the Tuk Tuk was the same as well. And the funniest thing that happened with the Tuk Tuk on that trip was I just pulled over to get a McDonald's. Now, I'm gluten-free, so I had to have it without the bun and stuff. So I'm just going to eat it on this little wall. And my Tuk Tuk in front of me, there's a pavement behind me. And then this chap came over, started asking questions about the Tuk Tuk. Every time he sat down, people were asking you stuff. So ended up going call-wise, having a chat with me, but I didn't mind. And then I looked out at this eye, And coming down the pavement, there was this woman with this little kiddie. He was probably about 3-year-old, and he's holding onto her hand. He was dressed all in green, which looked really, really strange. But he's just giving me the daggers as he's walking up like that. And I thought, what's up with him? So what I will say is my jeans, my bike jeans, I'd not took a belt with me, so they're a little bit slack. So there's normally a little bit of crackage. You could probably tell where this is going. So I'm sat there on the wall, and as they walk past, he poked me in the ass. And then I looked over this shoulder, like, what the hell? And the woman looked down at the little lad, looked down at me, just shrugged her shoulders and carried on walking. And I was just laughing my head off to the next place, thinking, how mad that I've just been poked in the ass.
You hope it was a kid.
I'm presuming it was him.
Brilliant.
And then, one other thing, in the Tuk Tuk, there was, I'd stopped at this place at Bray, and there was like a bandstand there, but there was like a wide like pavement, and you're not supposed to really be up there, but you know what it's like when you get somewhere and you think, I just want to get some photographs and, just chance my arm a bit. So I pulled onto this pavement, parked up next to the bandstand. This guy, all dressed in like orange, which was like a council worker, came across to me. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm just taking some photographs. I'm doing the coast of Ireland." He said, "Oh, I wouldn't mind a photograph." So he took his phone out, passed me his camera, and stood next to the Tuk Tuk. So I thought, okay. Took a couple of photographs for him. He checked him. He went, "Your stores will be fine." And then he just walked off.
Oh, right. Cheers. Thanks.
Yeah. So I don't know what he thought I meant by just taking a few photographs. But he just thought
as queer as folk, mate. As queer as
from the opera.
You mentioned earlier mental health. How did that come about? You've done a lot of work with, is it Man Down, and then obviously Andy's Man Club? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. So, I mean, I did the Man Down thing because I didn't know there was anything out there, and I just wanted like other bikers to be able to talk about mental health. Oh. So I just designed like a T-shirt, and then Roadskin, they said, "Do you want us to pass it on to our designer and see if we can improve on it?" And they came up with this fantastic design, which was great. So, hats off to Roadskin for that. They were really supportive. And, I got a few sent out to different people. And then I was trying to find a charity because people were saying like, "Oh, can we give to this charity, this Man Down?" I said, "Well, it's not that kind of charity." I said, "It's just really to raise awareness." I said, "But I'll find a local charity." And then I found Andy's Man Club because somebody had mentioned it to me. And, they were really helpful to me, from a mental health point of view. And, they've got about 500 places around the UK now. And they're helping thousands of men, like every Monday night to open up and speak. So I'm a facilitator for them now, but it's been couple of months since I last went. I really need to get back there. I've just had too many other things like I'm trying to juggle with. But they are an amazing group of people at Andy's Man Club.
What do you think it is about bikes and mental health, particularly men's mental health? Because it's become a huge thing now, and as in like mental health awareness has, and it's something I see all the time, particularly on my tours. You take away 15 predominantly just blokes who a lot of the time don't know each other. You bond over a love of bikes and they love of travel. And then in the evenings when you're having a few beers or just having a social in the evening, lads just start talking and people just start opening up, and the amount of people who come forward and say they either have struggled in the past or they are struggling at the moment. And for everybody, bikes just seem to be that, I don't know. I don't know. It's not, I don't want to be irresponsible and say medicine, because if you need help, you need to go and get help, obviously. But it seems to be that thing that people find helps.
Yeah. So with me, I'd not had anything to do with like any kind of mental health until about 3.5 years ago. And I had a breakdown, Bruce, and it hit me like a ton of bricks. Just finished work for Christmas the day before. And I don't know where it came from. It's just like bang, like anxiety, but really like severe. And I didn't know what it was. And all I was trying to do was like fight it off. And by trying to fight it off and push it back, it was just coming back over you in waves and waves. And, it was like 2 weeks before I could leave the house. It was absolutely horrendous. But I'm glad it happened because, at least you can be empathetic to other people. I think, especially once you felt something like that. And I mean, the two key things that helped me was my faith and this thing that I tried. I thought, right, I'm going to force one of these like anxiety attacks to come on. So I just lay down and just thought of all the negative things. And I thought, no matter how bad it gets, I'm just going to let it come and wash over me. And it did. And I had this at work, you could have like chats with people. And it's this thing, it's an actual way of coping. It's called paradoxical intention. And it was a German guy from just after the Second World War that came up with it. It's where you're willing something to happen that you don't want to happen. And then that helps you to control it from like happening again, because, no matter how bad it gets, now for me, I can think to myself, right, well, if I want to get past it, I can just bring it on and get it over. And that doesn't work for everybody, but I found that's my like fuse, if you like me, my coping mechanism.
Yeah. So is it almost like you've got a degree of control over it now?
I have no, yeah, because I didn't have any control at first because I didn't know what it was. I didn't know how to stop it coming on. But now I don't need to think about it stopping coming on because as it happens, I've probably gone 12 months since I had like a really bad anxiety attack. But I think that's because now I know it's the fear of the fear, you see. So if you know that no matter how bad it gets, or if it starts coming on, if you're worried about it coming on, it's going to be even worse. But if you're thinking, right, coming on, I'm just going to lie down and just move past it, then, it's like a safety fuse. But I just wish it worked for everybody because, I found it really, really helpful myself.
Mm. So what is the, pardon my ignorance, but what's the crack with Andy's Man clubs? What is that? You said it's like a weekly sort of meet type thing.
But so it's 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock every Monday, apart from bank holidays. And basically, there's 5 questions. So you'll get in there, you'll just all introduce yourselves, and then they'll split into groups. And the 5 questions, the first 3 are always the same. First one's like, how's your week been? The second one is something good that's happened this week. And the third one, which is the main one, is, something you want to get off your chest. And like when people are talking, then they've been able to like talk through like what's bothering them. And then the last 2 questions are always like, light-hearted, really. It might be like, if you could be a character in any film, who would you be, etc. And it just, again, it just brings people like back up again afterwards. But, I've seen people come in who are just not functioning at all. And within a few weeks, of getting things off the chest and being able to speak to people and seeing other people speak about their issues as well, you can just see the weight lifted off the shoulders. It's very simple, but it's really, really, really works. And it started, I think it's about 12 years ago now, when a young lad called Andy, he was only about 21, he took his own life, and his mother and his brother-in-law and sister and that didn't know anything was wrong at all because he'd not opened up about it. And they said that if he can help one person by letting people speak, then it'd be all worth it. And they must have saved so many lives, they do a big job.
It's definitely something which I think the biking community in particular seems to be embracing now.
Yeah.
You know, it certainly seems to be very, very prominent now within our sort of world. Everyone's aware of mental health, men's mental health. Which can only be a good thing. Can only be a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, with me, after those first 2 weeks, I decided I was going to go out and cook my breakfast at Rivington Barn. So I just put on Monkey Revolution, the Facebook group. I said, go and cook me breakfast. You know, I said, I've been feeling really bad these last 2 weeks, but I'm going to go and cook my breakfast. And so off I went, and I got to Rivington Barn. There's about a dozen of my mates there, and they'd all took the cooking stoves and they set them all out on the wall. With a little space for me. It was amazing, you know, and that was the first of the monkey cookouts. So every month or two now we'll do like a cookout where we just take our food with us, and you can be on any bike and just go and, you know, you've got one of my mates, Alan Bonney, cooking steaks and all sorts. You know, it's got really good fun. It's like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome.
So I mean, and it's funny because people who come to the cookouts now probably don't realise that they only started because of somebody feeling anxious. Me.
Yeah. That's great, though. I mean, that's a great origin story, and it's great that your community there is all coming round and rallying round each other, and that's now just become a tradition. It's become a thing, isn't it? It's become an outlet. Yeah. So if somebody else ends up feeling like you did, they can go, right, they just turn up and everybody's there, everyone's listening. Yeah, nice one.
Yeah, we've done 21 of them now, 21 of the little cookouts.
21? Wow, good effort. Nice. Right, the way we do this, obviously I post up on my socials and on my Patreon to say who the next guest is, and then people have got the opportunity to leave some questions for us to go over.
Yeah.
So the first question is always mine. And my question to you is, I describe Bru Time as a relaxed conversation podcast exploring what it really means to live your life through honest conversations with people who choose more. When you hear that, what does choosing more mean to you?
So just repeat that last bit again.
I describe Bru Time as a relaxed conversation podcast exploring what it really means to live your life with people who choose more. When you hear that, what does choosing more mean to you?
Yeah, I suppose choosing more is having an interest in other people and having an interest in what other people are doing. You know, because I mean, some of your previous guests, you know, I've really enjoyed watching because, I mean, Andy Sparrow is a friend of mine, Captain Pugwash, and Lee Vigor as well, Buddy, a friend of mine as well. So, you know, it's nice to see people and find out more about people, because people don't often just give out information about themselves. And I think what you're really good at as well is drawing that out, because I mean, a lot of podcasts and things like that you watch are like 25 minutes, half an hour, like 45 minutes tops, and yours are very long. So there's plenty time to to flush things out and actually have good deep conversations with people. So, you know, that more to me, I think, is having an interest, you having an interest in people having, you know, the chance to actually talk and explore things as well.
That's exactly why I make this a long form conversation, you know, in that I just find people can get through an hour. You know, people can get through an hour masking things off or trying to hide things. But once you start pushing into certainly, you know, 2 hours and beyond, I think people's sort of guard drops and then they really start opening up. to you, especially if you're having a beer or whatever, or you've had an hour and a half of conversation and people start to just loosen up and they feel comfortable enough that they can open up to you. Like Andy Sparrow was a prime example. I've known Andy just as, somebody to say hello to and your paths cross for quite a few years. And I thought he was a great character. I knew nothing of his backstory. I knew he was having a bit of a rough time, but I had no idea it was to that extent. And like getting him on the podcast and he just opened up the way he did. As a really brave lad. The amount of people who got in touch after that, to sort of express their gratitude to him for what he did, but also in turn to go, I'm so happy's the wrong word, but they're like, I've been going through a really shit time and it's almost nice to hear somebody else has experienced the sort of stuff that they were going through. And they were like, I'm going to go and find someone to talk to because, they could see that it was like a weight getting lifted when he started talking. So that was awesome. He's done that. He's shown people that just get out there and talk to somebody. Doesn't need to be a professional, but just talk to someone initially and get it going. Yeah,
top bloke as well. I mean, one of his first videos that made me crease up laughing. Have you seen the one where he dresses up and goes to that disco? And he dresses up as a disco bloke first of all.
Oh yeah.
And then he dresses up as a woman, and he's at this set of traffic lights with a wig and everything on, and this cyclist pulls alongside him, and he just looks and he says, "You're right. Nice day, innit?" The shit's rolled out. I'm thinking, what's the guy thinking on the push bike? It was absolutely hilarious. But absolute top bloke is Andy.
Yeah, it's one of the first times I ever met Andy was at Richie Vida's Wild Bad Weekenders years ago. And Andy turned up. I think he was on a monkey bike, but he had a great big massive black dildo stuck to the front of it. And we did this big massive ride around the Peak District. And then when we got back to the campsite area, he just appeared bollock naked with like a silver, I think it was a silver cape round his neck and some flying goggles on the monkey bike across the campsite. And it was like,
that's
oh
Andy.
wow, who's this character? Yeah, he's some boy. Wow, right, so first questions over in the clan. So that's patreon.com/TeapotOne. First one, Dave the sidecar dog. How you doing, Dave? And Dave, I love the fact that you've both had amazing adventures on bikes from different ends of the riding scale that would have had the adventure bike riders whimpering into their vanilla lattes. But what's your favourite cheese? As always, I know one of the Daves is a knob for asking and the other one is a dog. Favourite cheese, then?
Oh, bloody hell. So, I'm allergic to cheese. Right. But I can have mozzarella because there's a thing that they actually add to cheese called rennet. It's called rennet. And they use it as part of the cheese making process.
Right.
But it gives a lot of people really bad migraines. And it does with me. So if I ever have normal cheese, my head just like goes like absolutely buzzing and I end up with a really bad migraine. So it's got to be mozzarella. Got to be mozzarella. I mean, I think there are a few other cheeses that are made without rennet, but yeah, mozzarella's okay. So that's all I can have really.
I think mine is that Norwegian caramelized goat cheese. I love it. Oh, right. It's absolutely amazing. I just
rolled on the thigh of a virgin.
What's that? Rolled on the thighs of a virgin. Yeah. I'm looking at a bit of paper because I wrote down the name of a cheese, believe it or not. A couple of podcasts ago, I had Adam White, Bikers for Brains, Pathfinder Motto. I had him on. And that cheese came up in the conversation. And he was telling me I need to try this Spanish cheese called Manchego. And I've still not got it yet. Apparently you can get it in supermarkets. So I need to find that and try that. But at the moment, caramelized goat's cheese. Amazing. Love it.
Very good.
Cheers, Dave. Thank you very much for your question, mate. Next one, Moto Cad. Evening, gents. Hope you're both well. Dean, once you decided to leave the big CC bikes behind, did you notice a change in the way fellow motorcyclists' behaviour changed towards you? Oh, that's a good question.
I think I did at first, but then on the C90 especially, but then with a monkey bike, I just find that you go to a bike night somewhere, like Barton or something like that, and you go and get a coffee, you'd come back to your bike, and there'd be about 5 or 6 like middle-aged blokes all stood around your bike. And it
Everyone
might be next
loves
to
a monkey, don't they?
Yeah, it might be next to it. I mean, this was back in the day when 2018 they started remaking them again, and mine's 2019. So, and as I say, I'd not seen one for 18 months other than mine when I got it. So they were quite rare at the time. And they'd all be just stuck around it. And they'd be like a Ducati or something worth about 20 grand, a couple of bikes away. I paid £3,400 for my monkey bike, brand new. Because I'd been to Wigan Honda and I said, what can you do a monkey for? And they said, well, they're £3,700. So 3.8. But I said, can you not knock anything off? And they said, no. So I went to the one at Manchester, and they knocked me £400 off straight away. And
happy days.
Thought, right, yeah. So it was happy days. I thought, I'll have that. And then I got phoned up again by Andre and Wigan, that's not there anymore, saying, "Are you still thinking of a monkey?" I said, "I've buying one." They said, "How much are you paying?" I said, "Well, 3-4." I said, £400 less than you. He said, "But match it." I said, "Why would I do that?" I said, "You've had your chance to sell me a bike."
Yeah.
But you couldn't give me even, if they'd have said £100 off, I'd have bought it. You know.
Yeah. Ah, well, they're lost, mate. Obviously they've gone under, aren't they? So I will. Yeah, it's interesting that, because I've done quite a few of these challenge rides on the little 125s, and I nod it. Like, I nod at everybody.
Everyone,
I don't care I don't care what bike you're on. Don't care if you're on a scooter. I don't care if you're on a bloody trike. I'm not worried. You nod, don't you? But there's definitely a lot of people out there who don't return that.
No.
And I think, have I noticed it more on? You definitely notice it on the GS, as in, if I'm on the GS and I nod, people do not nod back as much as they do, say, as if I'm on my Jigsaw, people nod back, or any other sort of bikes that I take out. On the little bikes, I'm not. I think people do nod back, actually, come to think of it.
I think what I tend to do now, though, is I'm really not bothered if they nod back or not. So, I nod just to be friendly anyway. And, I wouldn't take offence if somebody didn't nod back. I just think, right, they've either not seen me or they're not interested in nothing. You don't know what kind of day they've had or anything, you know what I mean? So
that is true.
That's your day.
It's probably because you've got a lot longer when you're on the smaller CC bikes to sort of see somebody register and almost like take note as to what their reactions are.
You don't want to nod too soon, do you? You don't want to nod when you're still like 100 metres away. And then just wait and think, do I nod again?
End up like a woodpecker, don't you? Right, Motocard's got a second question. Dean and Bruce, if you could only visit one country to visit or tour for the rest of your days, where would it be?
Go on, you go first.
I've been asked this question before, and I've always said Spain, just because it's a big landmass. Weather's, you can find somewhere there's good weather even in the winter. Just head south. Amazing roads up in the mountains. Old Bill don't care as long as you keep it out on the open road and not in the towns and villages. It's cheap. Most people speak English. In fact, now I'm saying it. Yeah, Spain, still Spain. Yeah.
See, if you'd have asked me a few months ago, I'd have probably just said Isle of Man, because I love our people over there. We do the Plant of the Monkeys annually.
Yeah.
We talk about it in a bit anyway. But so we do that, and got some really good friends over there. So, every time you go, there's a good amount of you going out and, experienced really nice roads. But that's what I would have said. But I was blown away by Ireland. I loved it. I loved the people. I loved and I'd love to take my wife across there, in probably the Tuk Tuk, because the people were amazing. The roads were nice. You just pull up at the side of the road and there's like a little bay there that you can just walk down to, and you think, there's nobody here. I've got a bay to myself. It's just crazy. Yeah. So probably Ireland.
Yeah, I've not done proper touring over in Ireland actually, and then we're away to Northern Ireland this weekend with the clan, with the Patreon lot.
Yeah,
we've got one of our meetups over there, so really looking forward to that. But that's up in Northern Ireland.
Yeah,
I definitely love to explore Southern Ireland a lot more than I have. Yeah, for sure. Cool. Right, next one, Zog D. Hey, Dean. Hi, Bruce. So, Dean, how on earth do you not get throttle hand fatigue? Has the monkey got cruise control? I don't think cruise control was on the TeapotOne round the world, Steed. Happy chatting. Best regards, Deb and Ian. Hi, guys. How are you? So throttle hand fatigue.
Hi, guys. So I did find on the 4,000 and odd mile ride around the UK that, I set off, went across to Blackpool, and then I was going clockwise all the way around. And I got round as far as, I think it was near Portsmouth. And I was finding that because of all the weight on the bike, it was proper like giving you a little vibration and shaking. And my hand was going dead a little bit. And I bought one of those little plastic things, the ones that go on, that you just like use your thumb and just pull it along.
Oh,
and
right, yeah.
So much difference. It was unbelievable. Like basically within about 5 minutes, I wasn't getting that like bloody throttle shake hand anymore. It was just like just pull it on with your thumb, and then you want it to go a bit faster, just pull it back. It was lovely. So yeah, that little piece of plastic ended up becoming like a cruise control.
Yeah, I've never. I don't know. It's never been an issue for me. I don't know. I mean, your hand gets numb, but
yeah, you probably pack your bike a lot better than me, though, Bruce.
I bet I don't.
Mine looks like the mule in that in that game, Buckaroo. My father's Buckaroo.
Yeah, my tractor, the GS, because I've got big panniers on there and I've got the top box. You can be really ill-disciplined with your packing on that if there's just if there's just one of you. So I just chuck everything in on that one. But then when I do the endurance rides, especially on the little 125s, I've generally I've got a top box of some kind so I can put my filming bag in the top box. And then I always have a rucksack, whether I've got anything in it or not. Anyway, I always wear a rucksack. I don't know why, I just do. So that's pretty much the only kit I take when I do the sort of 125 long distancey stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. After a while, you just tune it out. Your knees hurt, your arse hurts, your wrists hurt. Oh well.
When you say about your arse hurting, I mean, when I did that garden up in tow, I'd been told that the CT wasn't the right bike to go and do a long distance ride on. So I bought one of these inflatable seats, and I made the rookie mistake of blowing it up. And I was sat on it. I mean, for any of your listeners out there or viewers out there who don't know the trick, you don't blow them up fully, because I had it blown up fully, and it was the ass was it was absolutely killing. It was like chafing. I was stopping every 16 miles or so, getting off, having to walk around. It was killing me. And I got all the way down to the Isle of Wight, and this guy says to me, he says, why have you got an inflatable thing on your seat? And I said, because my ass is so. He said, why have you blown it up? I said, same answer, mate. He said, that's not how you use them. He said, you just, you blow them up, then you take all the air out apart from a tiny little bit. He says, so your arse can find its place. And bloody
it
hell,
molds,
it was like,
doesn't it?
it was like night and day. It was like, it was fine. And after another like couple of 100 miles, I stopped using it altogether and just found the normal seat was fine for me. But yeah, there's nothing worse than having that pain in your ass when you ride.
I had I had the Vogue SR16. It's like a 125cc twist and go scooter. I had that about a month ago, and I did this around the UK ride on it, like the Four Corners ride.
Yeah.
And oh my God, the seat on that, initially the seat was glorious. It was lovely. But I think I was around about a day into it, because I don't stop on those. You just keep going. And I was about a day in, and my arse had got sore. But then once your bum's sore, that's it. The only way you can stop that is get off and, have 8 hours off the bike or whatever. So, it just got worse and worse and worse. And I was trying to sit on the back where the pilliony type seat was. And then I was scooching right forward. And because I'm such a fat bugger, I squashed all the cushion in the seat. So the seat ended up being like that. And that this is the front. Yeah. So this front bit was still all rigid. This bit here, where I'd been sat on, was really compressed. But that bit that's sticking up at the front there, that was pushing, at the risk of being crude, right into my ball sack. And I had that constantly for like, Jesus, for about 40 hours, and the vibration that you get from it.
Yeah.
I mean, I say in the vids, like, it went numb. Everything went numb there. And it didn't stop being numb for about 3 weeks.
Bloody hell.
I was thinking to myself, I might have to go to the doctor. I think I've done some proper damage here. But thankfully, things have returned to normal.
Come back. Yeah.
But I did think,
funny though, the things you try to like alleviate it. So what I found, you'd be riding along, and because it's just on your the glutes or whatever it is, that muscle in your ass, and you'd like stand up on the bike just for a second, and you put yourself back down slightly differently, and then you get a bit of relief for about 5 minutes because you're like slightly in a different position, and then that would really hurt again. Then you'd be like back up again, so you're up and down all the time, and then stopping, and oh no, nothing worse.
I was trying, you try and do side saddle. I was hanging off to the sides, each side. Oh, you just got to keep going, don't you? Crack on. Yeah, absolutely. You brought something up when we were answering that second question. Tour one country, notice a different reaction from fellow motorcyclists. You said something and it sparked a question, and I thought, I'll ask that next. I've totally forgotten it.
Okay.
I've totally forgotten it. Maybe it'll come back to me. Next question. Real Schwerty. Looking forward to this. Question for Bruce. You have now often mentioned that there's not really a need for big CC bikes. Will you give up the GS when they inevitably reach the 1400? Surely there is a mid to small bike that can do almost all the GS does, but costs much less. Not only initial price, but also upkeep. I mean, common sense suggests, just get a smaller bike. But I'm not ready to let go of the big. But I still love the effortless power and all the fun that brings that you get with big bikes. But I genuinely love small bikes. I've been thinking about adding the small bike to the stable, but I just...
There's always room in garage, Bruce.
What's that?
There's always room in the garage.
This is it. It's very true. Very true. But I've got my Jigsaw and the GS, and I can't justify having another one, even if it is just a wee 125. Not yet, anyway. We'll see. Watch more videos, people. Watch more videos. We'll see. How do you feel then about moving from the big CC bikes to the little? Do you miss them?
as I said, the only thing I miss is that little blip every now and again. And I remember having a ride over near Saddleworth on one and just getting down and just that feel of like effortlessness, you know what I mean?
Mm.
So I do miss that, but not enough to get one, if I'm honest.
Mm.
I love the challenge of doing something on something that's ridiculous, and that's why, I mean, Tuk Tuk UK, I do these like little Monkey Dits Meets videos where I'll go and like interview somebody. And at the Dragon Rally a couple of years back, I saw two of these Tuk Tuks. So, got somebody coming at the door then. Yes. I saw two of these Tuk Tuks, and I thought somebody must be bringing them into the country. So I looked up who it was, and it was Tuk Tuk UK, and thought, right, I'll find out where they are and see if I can go and interview the owner. And it was 8 miles from where I live, and he watched me. I mean, I did the video and had a little try of it and stuff, and got all my questions to ask him and things like that. And lovely guy, Rob Leggett, who runs the company. And then he watched me doing the UK tour. And then when he knew I was going to Ireland, he said, "Why don't you do it at Tuk Tuk?" And I just said, "It'd be too expensive to rent one." And he said, "No," he said, "if you insure it," he said, "you can use one of mine for a month." So, you know, it was too good of an opportunity to turn down.
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
I went and did that. And again, I was thinking to myself, on my way to pick it up, I'm thinking, shit, I've ridden one about 50 metres around this little car park where his place is. I thought, I'm setting up on a 2,000-mile trip on one. And didn't have a clue what it was going to be like. But it was amazing. Well, so amazing. I bought one, picked it up like last Sunday, so I've had it like 8 days.
Yeah.
But they're
No regrets?
amazing. No. I think it's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. You have loads of rooms for storing stuff. So you can take a big tent with you and things like that. I can take my wife and like passengers in the back. You can take 3 people if you want. And again, I think top speed is about 42 mile an hour. I mean, this one's done like, I think it was 51 on the way down to the ABR. But I mean, which is nothing. But when you've got these little tidgy wheels, they're only like, they're tiny, the wheels. They're half the size of a monkey bike. You know, they're ridiculous.
Gee whiz.
But, I mean, you get that sense of speed, even though you're only doing like, say, 40 odd mile an hour. It's ridiculous. But the amount of attention they get is just unreal. You've got people at bus stops going like, well, just pointing at you as you're going past. And everybody wants a photograph taken with it and stuff. And you think, God, for what you pay for them, they're just fantastic. I just think more people should ride round in them.
What's the CC of them?
So the one I did Ireland in was a 198, and this is a 236 cc. It's 2-year-old, the one that I've got, but it's 236. It's got a 15-litre LPG tank, and it's got an 8-litre petrol as well. You just like flick between the two.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just again, I quite like utilitarian things, like things that are handy, you know what I mean? And, just the fact that you can just chuck stuff in and just head off somewhere, take you friggin' ages to get there, like, but there you go. Again, you can set yourself challenges that are only going to be like, say, a couple of 1,000 miles, but it's a big challenge, you know what I mean?
God, yeah. Gee whiz. I mean, like 1,000 miles, in fact, not even 1,000 miles. There's a lot of people out there who won't ride 1,000 miles in a year. In fact, there'll be a lot of people out there who don't ride 500 miles in a year. It's crazy. Like, it really is crazy. I've had people that come away on bike tours with me who've been riding 20 years, and they've literally only ever done their local calf. That's all they've ever done for their like riding lives. And then for whatever reason, they've decided to come away on a tour, and like without fail, they're just like, oh my God, I can't believe I've wasted all this time. Like, this is here. It's nuts.
I
People
I found with
don't
with the monkey. Sorry, with the monkey bike.
No, go on.
What I did find with the monkey was that having the CB100Ns, I had a couple of those when I was like 18, 19. I was living on South Coast with one, and you'd only go like say 30 miles top on like a trip. When I got the monkey, I just couldn't believe that there was a little 125 there that was reliable enough to go and do like say 1,000 miles. Like Andy Sparrow, he did 1,000 miles in 24 hours. Set off from on to Blackpool, went to John O'Groats and back, just all in one go, all in one hit, without stopping. And you're thinking, bloody hell, they're that much. Well, you might have been able to do that on a CB100M, but it wouldn't have had the same kind of comfort factor as the seat on a monkey, So it just shows that you don't need, you don't need a big bike to do big miles, but it just takes a lot frigging longer to get there.
Yeah, but that's like, for me, that's what the appeal. That's the appeal, is the fact that most people don't do it. That's why I did the big trip on the Jigsaw. That's why I do these endurance rides. That's why I like doing them.
That was going to be my point as well. Then I was going to say, I mean, you did that 74,000 miles on a Gixxer. That wasn't the bike to do that on. Bruce,
that's exactly why I did it on that bike.
I know.
People just go, no, you can't do it on that. But that's the one that did it. Is Suzuki. Suzuki themselves turned round and went, you're not going to do it because the bike won't make it, and most importantly, you won't make it. And that just made me go, I'm going to do it then. So that was it.
Have you heard of Emilio Scotto?
Of who? Sorry,
Emilio Scotto.
Emilio Scotto. No.
Yeah. Write his name down, Bruce. Emilio. So EMILIO, and then it's SCOTTO. There's an Argentinian biker who, in the 1980s, he did a 10-year ride, which was 500,000 miles, and he did it all on a 1980s Gullwing. But he's got this book out. I mean, it's quite expensive, the book. And I had a copy of it, and I gave it to a friend, and then bloody hell, it took me ages to find another copy of it, but I eventually did, because I mean they want stupid money, like 150 quid for this like on book book.
Jesus,
I managed to get it for about £30 in the end. This second copy, but it's like got loads of pictures and stuff, and it's got him riding this Gullwing through like, well, he's been everywhere on it, like it's 500,000 miles, so going through like the Darien Gap and stuff like that on the bloody Gullwing, and getting like 3/4 of the way through and realising he's going to have to go back, and it's took him 2 weeks to get there. It's a fantastic read, the book that he's got out, but and it's been out for years and years. But a lot of people haven't heard of him, with him being like Argentinian. But my mate Rob Williams, who's one of our monkey revolutionaries, he told me about him and like let me know about that book, and I started searching for it then. But it's well worth getting hold of. It's mind-boggling, 500,000 miles. And he met people like Muhammad Ali and people like that on the way round. It was crazy.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll look for that. Have you heard of Jack Lucassen?
Who, sorry?
Jack Lucassen.
No.
He's a Danish chap, and he did, was it 400,000 mile or 500,000 kilometers, something like that. But he did it on an R1, and he spent four and a half years, I think it was, riding around the world. This is in the 90s, I think Jacques did it. I mean, he's got video of him in, I think, the Congo, DRC, somewhere like that. Yeah, it's just mud, literally mud almost up to the handlebars on his R. He's in a one-piece leather suit. That's kind of why I did it on leathers as well. It was just like, right, if Jacques done it, I'm going to do it. But he's got locals effectively in the middle of the jungle. The locals are helping him just drag this R1 through the mud. And crazy stuff he did on that. Yeah.
But as you said, though, got to say that it just shows the support you get everywhere you go. Anyway, you know,
totally.
know that if anything happens to you when you're on the road, if there's people around, people will help you.
Yeah. 99% of the time, people are fantastic.
Unless you're in Mauritania.
Do you know what? Part of me wants to go back and just see, but then I follow oh God, what's it called? He's a ginger British guy who runs everywhere. He's a London lad, and he runs everywhere. And he ran back through Africa. I think he ran round Africa, but he was running up the west of Africa, and he got to, I think it was Mauritania, and he just had a hell of a time. And I remember this is quite recently, this is a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
And it made me go, oh, God, it's not just me. That's all right then. Because the amount of people that said to me, oh, I've done Mauritania, it was absolutely no problems at all.
Yeah, saying that though, Bruce, I mean, I know I was saying before about, you know, the reasons why I would carry on doing things. Yeah, I've got the utmost respect for your decision to stop what you was doing with that one, because, you know if it's right or not, don't you? If you feel that like something's like kind of like life threatening, then you think, you know, why would you do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but I mean, go on.
So go on.
I was going to say that, you know, it's a very difficult decision to take, you know, but it was, you know, most likely the right one to take, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad in a way that I did, because it sort of really, it gave me the resolve not to give up again. You know, it was like,
but,
right.
What have you got to prove though, Bruce? I mean, bloody hell, you've just been and done 74,000 miles all over the place, all around the world. You know what I mean? You've nothing to prove, have you?
I don't play that game. I'm not proving anything to anybody. It's to me. It's me that I'm proving stuff to. Nobody else. I couldn't give a shit what anyone else says.
I know, but you've not even anything to prove to yourself, though, have you? That's just we do set these self-written objectives that you know, we push ourselves to a certain thing where we're saying, I've got to achieve this goal, you know, but you know that's a self goal, that, isn't it, that you've set?
Yeah, but I personally, for me, I like to push myself, because I think I've chatted about this loads of times. I think I give up on a lot of things. I'm quite lazy about a lot of things, like my personal fitness, for example. I can knuckle down and get on the rower, and I can row every day for 3 months, 4 months, and then something happens and I just 8 months, 9 months, a year later, I've not rowed, you know, and I can be very ill-disciplined with regards to that. So with the bike stuff, I'm like, well, okay, I know I can do these endurance-y things, or I know I've done them. Let's make sure I can keep doing them. You know, it's almost like a little yardstick for me. Right, okay, I can still do that. Fine, lovely job. It's weird. It's just how my brain works. I don't understand it.
I get that, but I'm saying, like, with the things that you've done, though, I mean, you've done more than, you know, 99% of other bikers have done. You know what I mean?
As have you, though. You know, it's just you pick what you want to do, don't you? And that's it. Like I don't know about you, but I don't do these things for other people. It's just
no.
Okay, I fancy doing that. Let's go and do it. And, right, Anthony Pearson asked Dean if he ever thought the Monkey Revolution and Planet of the Monkeys would ever have reached such heady heights of success and changed the lives of so many people with unbreakable friendships since its beginning that one day at Rivington just over 5 years ago. Where does he see the Monkey Revolution in the next 5 years? Viva MR80. That's a very good question, that.
Yeah. Thanks, Anthony. So, what I would say, I mean, the Monkey Revolution wouldn't have happened if it hadn't been for the YouTube, because I started the YouTube, did a few videos about like the monkey bike and, you know, why people should buy one, and you know, like the ones around people trying it out, etc. And then we'd go to like places like, I don't know, like Trafford Bowland or whatever with Andy Sparrow and others. And then people were saying, well, we didn't know you were going. We'd have come.
Mhm.
So people were saying, why don't you go on Facebook? And I just couldn't be arsed with Facebook, to be honest. And I said, I'm not doing Facebook. And they said, well, if you do Facebook, there's a thing called events. So you can put events on and people can join in. So I only started the Monkey Revolution so that I could use the events feature on it and utilize that. And funnily enough, the you meet the nicest people on a Honda videos, as well as the, really suits you, and there's always room for one in the garage. For some reason, every now and again, I'd shout, "Viva the Monkey Revolution!" just to people who were walking past, and they'd be like, "Fucking hell, what's up with him?" You know what I mean? And they'd be shouting it, this Viva the Monkey Revolution. So when I started the Facebook group, I thought, shit, might as well call it the Monkey Revolution. So I did. And I don't know why I did this, but, I thought, right, I'll give everybody a Monkey Revolutionary number when they join. Because I could have gone down the route of like having like a public group, but I thought, no, I'm going to do a private group, so that people feel open to be able to share anything they want to share. Yeah. And I wanted to create like a community. Worldwide friendly community. Well, first of all, like a local friendly community. And then, you were finding that people were joining in America and all sorts. But it's funny because like one of my mates, Scott in America, who's joined, he'd watch us at Rivington, and it's he's in Florida, and it's I wish I lived at Rivington. So why? It's in Florida, and it's because we'd have about 7 monkey bikes joining together, whereas his nearest one might be like 50 miles away from where he lives. You know what I mean? So started giving them these Monkey Revolutionary numbers, and we've got like over 4,000 now.
Wow!
But what it's done, it's kind of like help people feel part of a community, because you get like Anthony MR80, he'll be talking about something and he'll put MR80 on the end of it, and people will know who he is, you know what I mean? But they'll be asking about like rear racks and stuff and saying, have you tried this? Like MR172, you know what I mean? It's been really nice how it's come together. Yeah. So, I mean, but there's other bigger groups. I mean, there's like Small Bikes, Big Adventures. So my mate, Matt Elliwell started that with Jono. And then you've got, and they've got like 75,000 people in it. You've got,
have they?
But that's like a public group with 75,000. Yeah. Well, then you've got like a public group, Great Fun on Small Bikes. And a friend of mine, Rob Clare, become a friend of mine, who runs that. And they've got over 100,000. And it's just mad that the scope for small bikes out there. Now, with mine being a private one, when things come through for people want to join, I'll look on the profile, and if there's no motorbikes, or it's just like a blank profile, I just decline it, because I'm really passionate about keeping like a friendly community. We don't allow any sales on there. So, if people want to sell motorbikes, there's plenty of places where they can sell them. I don't want people falling out over like exhaust and stuff like that. So we just say, the only rule is you don't sell on there. You don't sell motorbikes. You don't sell exhausts. And you'll get people who will join, and 2 days later, putting a bike up for sale. They just say, sorry, you're gone. You know what I mean? But what it's done, it's made it so that people know that they're not just going to get blitzed with like people trying to sell T-shirts and trying to sell like motorbikes and bits and pieces. That it's just people's pictures from the rides and stuff like that. And I'm really glad he asked this question, because that's the kind of thing then that's led to the Planet of the Monkeys on the Isle of Man, because there'd be about 7 or 8 of us around Rivy, like posting. There'd be people down south posting pictures of their bikes. But then there was a group of about 6 or 7 on the Isle of Man. So one of them, Jason Crow, who won the Southern 100 with Conrad Harrison, like my main contact over there. He was posting on the Monkey Revolution of them going out for breakfast and stuff like that around the Isle of Man. So I just reached out to him and said, like, there's a few of us want to come over, like to meet up if that's okay. And so 6 of us went for the Planet of the Monkeys one. So there's me, Anthony, Glenn, Monkey Mark, and then all the monkeys. And then my mate Darren and his wife Jackie went on a grom between them. So it's 6 of us on 5 bikes. We went across there and we had 3 days with like a dozen of our Isle brethren being shown all the roads. And then the second year it went up to 4 days, and there was like about 18 of us the second time, then 40 odd the third time, 70 odd the fourth time. It's just got bigger and bigger. I think it might have been the second or third time when you was on doing your...
I was just about to say, yeah, we were doing a clan meet over there.
Your clan thing there. And I know that you said to me in a comment, one of my mates had just come in and said, everywhere I look, there's bloody monkey bikes.
Yeah, that's right. It was awesome just seeing all these monkey bikes tearing around the island.
Which was great. But I mean, awesome. What's really nice is seeing people come and take part because like a lot of them are like blokes and women of a certain age that, might not have many people to ride with. And all of a sudden, there's like 80 odd, 90, 100 people riding around the Isle of Man for like 4 days. Fantastic, So I'm really, really proud of that. But again, like Anthony will say, like, that, you've like created this team. I said, no, it's us that's created it together, all of us, because, it takes more than, the Monkey Revolution isn't me. It's the group of people who've come together who love small bikes,
absolutely.
And, I might create an event, but if nobody comes, it's going to be shite, isn't it? So, it's only going to work if people buy into it and want to take part. And we love going over and seeing, the guys on the Isle of Man. And one funny story about the trip on the CT going around the country. I'd gone to all the island and I shouldn't have done, because the sign said safe crossing between 12 and 2, and it was 3:30, and I thought, I'm not coming here and not going. So I razzed across, got to the the building, and then I'm coming back and there was already water on the thing, and I thought, I was doing it for breast cancer. I thought, I'm not wasting like another day. So I started going through it, got to the middle bit, and I thought, shite, it's really coming in. It's getting deep.
Wow.
And I thought, I'm already in that middle part. I thought, my bike's just going to get swamped if I don't go back or go forward. And it was the same going back as going forward. So I thought, I might as well try it. So I started going, and it pushed me off the side of the road, and then my bike fell over with all that weight on it. And I'm thinking, shit. And but because they've got like an eye inlet, this was stupid. I shouldn't have done this. I know that. But because it had an eye inlet and an eye exhaust, it was carrying on going the bike. So I managed to walk it and bump it back up again onto the road. And I rode it out. And it's funny because this guy, he'd seen me like coming across, and he must have thought, what's this frigging idiot doing? And he started filming me on his phone. And he said to me when I got there, he says, I've got all that, mate. I had my camera running as well, so I've got water coming over the top of my head on my film. And he said, what's your email address? I'll send it to you. You can use it. So he sent me that. So I've got this footage of me coming across. Again, it was a stupid thing to do. I had to really give it a good hose down when I got where I was going.
I'll bet.
But pull around the corner from there, and I thought, I'll just check my bike out. So I'm just checking it out. And this guy in a Honda t-shirt came across, and he says, everything okay? I said, yeah. I said, no. I said, I've just been across from all the island. I said, I shouldn't have done it, but I did. I took a chance. And he said, were you camping tonight? He said, do you want to use the my mobile home? He said, I've got like a thing in the back where you can kip. And I said, oh, you're okay. He said, right. He says, well, I'm back to the Isle of Man tomorrow. He said, to me Grom. I said, you're not in the Isle of Man Grom squad, are you? He said, yeah. I said, you know Jason Crow? He said, what, my passenger? He said, in the 2015 Southern 100. It was pretty Conrad Harrison, wasn't it? Dean Harrison's dad. I thought, well, what's the bloody chances of that? It's just crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I mean, as it happened, I still had another 80 odd miles to do with wet legs because I was staying in an horse box that night.
In a horse box?
Yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, at my mate Stuart's, yeah, we just converted this horse box, so it was grand. So I stayed there. Yeah.
Brilliant. So where do you see it all going in the next 5 years then? The monkey revolution.
I mean, to me, it doesn't need to get necessarily bigger. It's what I'd like to see it do is because there's certain people who will post quite a bit. So there's Linda in Bud. She's got these 2 different monkey bikes, and every few days she's out on one of them and she's posting, showing where she's gone, which is brilliant. I mean, I love seeing people doing things like that. And when I did the UK coastline, because of the monkey revolution, within 24 hours, I'd had 26 people saying, you can stay in my garden, and they were like all around the coast. I mean, it like took care of itself. The trip, it was brilliant. And when you got there, I did say, "Oh no, don't sleep in the garden. I've got spare room for you." In Bud at Linda's, I was in the Linda and Terry. I was in their conservatory, and it's when that storm hits. Can't think what it was called, but there was a really bad storm, and I ended up there for 2 days in this conservatory because it was absolutely battering outside.
Yeah. Oh, is that like 24, 23, 24?
No, last September.
Oh,
Storm
right.
Amy. Storm Amy.
Oh,
it was.
Amy. Yeah.
But it really hit hard around there. I mean, that last day's ride before I stopped again, I didn't like the fact that I was going to stay an extra day because, I'd set a target for what I was doing all the way around.
Yeah.
And, but, they'd said to me, look, just stay an extra day and go then. Well, I was meant to be meeting up with Nathan Millward.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was meant to be meeting up with him the next day because he was doing an event, and I was going to go and see him with me because he loves his CTs. Mm-hmm. But I missed out on that because I was in a conservatory, lay on the floor.
He's a good lad, Nathan. I keep we keep bumping into him. It's like 2 years on the bounce. We'd bump into him in the Italian Alps. We do this French Alps tour, and there's one night when you're just across into Italy, and we use the same hotel every year. And 2 years on the bounce, we'd turn up, and Nathan was staying in the same place on one of his tours.
I'd not realised he was at the ABR, otherwise I'd have gone and searched him out and I'd had a chat with him because, I spoke to him a few times on that trip, about meeting up because he had this place, this like bunkhouse that he'd got, and I was going to go and spend the night there. But,
Dorothy's Speed Shop.
But he was out on a trip at this bunkhouse, and I was going to go and he said like come and stay for a night with us. I was going to go and stay there, but it would have been too dangerous leaving Bud that day because it was properly knocking things about. Yeah.
What about like an international flavour to it or European flavour to it? Would you do them? Meetups elsewhere?
Yeah, I'd love to. It's just, before I retired, it was time more than anything, and the amount of weeks holiday you've got because obviously you want to spend time with your wife as well and go on your main holidays and things like that. Whereas I'm not as restricted now from a time point of view, and my wife Kay has been absolutely fantastic, for being supportive. Yeah. But even just getting things done a bit further down south. I mean, one of the reasons I did the garden hopping tour was so that people in the UK who were like down in Kent or down south or in Cornwall could actually, within like 30, 40 miles, come and join in with get
involved.
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons I did the garden hopping tour. But I'd love to involve more people. I mean, obviously, most of our people are in the UK, but then we've got people in like all over the world, basically. So, yeah, I think once I'd go onto the next part, so down to Calais, across the Normandy beaches and things, Cherbourg, down the side to Bilbao, hopefully I'll pick up people then who are in that part. So that you might help from a more like European point of view.
Yeah. So we do the way we do it over in my clan on Patreon is like people wanted to do these meetups these weekends, and I just had to say to people, I've got too much on my plate to organise all this as well. If you want to take charge of a weekend, feel free. And that's how we do it, is that we kind of just fallen into this routine now, like 3 times a year. March sort of time for the start of the season, normally June, July time in the middle, and then again sort of mid-October, just towards the end. And people just come to me and go, can I organise the July meet or the, whatever one it is that they want? Do you mind if I organise this one? I'll be like, yeah, no problem at all. Like, there's nothing in the diary. Bosh, here's the dates when I can do. All yours, go. So they just take ownership of it now, and they basically figure out the hotel that we're all going to stay at. They figure out a route, any ferries, logistics that are involved. They you kind of have to spoon feed it to people, don't you? It's like, for Ireland one, it's like, right, these are all the ferry crossings. This is what you need to be doing. There's a hotel that we need in Ireland. Get yourself here. We'll see you in the bar, and then we're going to go off and do all that. And we just chuck it out, and we've had like, I think the most we had was about 90 people descending on one of them.
Yeah.
But there's normally a good 40, 50 most weekends.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome. Real good community feel to it.
I think on the Isle of Man that year, you had about 60 odd people. We had 43 across, and you had like 60 people. I thought, well, 60 people on GSs looks a lot bigger than 43 people on monkeys.
Yeah. We did one.
We did cross paths every now and again. We'd see.
Yeah, we did.
Loads of GSs coming the other way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was good, man. We did a European one. We did the first European one. I think that was last year. A couple of the boys got together, and so we went across to France, and I think, did we do Luxembourg across over there towards the Ardennes? And it was awesome. There was a good, I think we had 50 odd bikes that came along to that one, made the effort to go over there. So it's cool.
Okay.
Be worth doing. Just put it out to your community and go, right, somebody want to organise one.
No, that'd be grand. I mean, I organise the Plants of the Monkeys every year now, but a lot of us go to the Dragon Rally as well. So there's the Dragon Rally, Plants of the Monkeys, and then we just try to do like different little bits, but I want to make sure I get these next stages of the Seaside Shenanigans touring as well, which are the big ones as well. But yeah, I'd really be open to. I'd love to get down to the Isle of Wight and do something, because there used to be a big monkey one there, organised by a guy called Keith Wall. He did it for about 20 years, and he stopped about 2 years ago. So yeah, they're probably crying out for another like monkey bike, small bike type of thing over there. So that'd be good. And then you get a lot of people from Kent and the surrounding areas coming across to that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Big good one to do.
Dragon, what do they call it? The Dragon Ball, did you say?
Dragon Rally. That's the one they do in Wales in the winter, isn't it? Is that right? Yeah, it's like end of the first week of February. I done 5 now. The first one I did was at Capel Curig, and bloody hell, I mean, you only find out on the day where it's going to be, and it was peeing it down. I was absolutely soaked. I was on the monkey bike. I was soaked to the skin, and the next morning I had to set off from Capel Curig on 8th of February, wet through, and try to get back to Manchester, and nearly ended up with hypothermia. It was ridiculous. So I'd said to a mate of mine, Billy Mack, he's like the Fred Dibner of small bikes. He'll make anything. And I just mentioned, I said, really do with a trailer. And he made that trailer in the picture that he put on.
Yeah.
He just said, I'll make you one. I said, well, have you made one before? He said, no. So, you can make one. He said, "You can make anything." That was it, and he came up with that fantastic design. And
I'm just looking at the picture of it now. Yeah,
it's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
How does a bike perform with that on the back then?
You can't tell it's on there. I mean, the only time
Really?
I could tell it was on there was when I went to the Dragon Rally, because I did the Dragon Rally a couple of years, about 3 years with that on. And I think the third year I did it, a mate of mine called Dave Featherston had said, "I'm bringing like one of these, like for burning logs and stuff." It was like a drum from a washing machine that he'd adapted. So I'm bringing that in his, like, he had like a massive trailer on his big bike. He said, "I'm bringing that," he said, "for you to use." So I took loads of wood, but it was like a dead weight, because it was full of logs. And my chain snapped on the way home. I think I must have like really stretched my chain with like trying to drag this trailer behind me.
I've just seen there's Steve Spencer. Trailer still going strong. I made parts for it where I used to work. That's one of the folk that made it.
Was he at Triple Ump?
Well, I don't know. It doesn't say.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if it's not my mate Dakar Steve, is it?
Oh, I know Dakar Steve. I met him on Isle of Man.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, that is his name, Steve Spencer. Is it? Is that Dakar Steve? Yeah, it is. It is Dakar Steve. Yeah. Oh God, he gets about, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure I saw him on the Isle of Man, and he said, "I made parts for your trailer." I feel it was. Yeah.
We've only got 2 more questions on this. First one, John Tinkler. Good evening, gentlemen. I just wanted to say that I love watching both your channels, and thanks for all the hard work behind the scenes of making your YouTube channels. Such a great watch. All the best. That's very kind of you, John. Thank you very much, mate. Glad you're enjoying them. How are you finding YouTube? How do you find YouTube?
It's fine. I mean, I only really started it, as I said, to get people to be aware of these monkey bikes, because I was blown away by, how much fun they were. And then the other thing, when people ask me, I think, well, it's basically to look back in my dotage of some of these trips and things, especially when we started doing things like the Plant of the Monkeys and the Dragon Rallies and stuff like that, and these big trips, big trips for me. I want to be able to look back and think, "Oh, I forgot I did that," or remember them people now that I met. You know what I mean? So some of the fun that I've had with me mates on small and big bikes now. So yeah, it's just really to look back at. And it is nice when you go places and people say, "Oh, seen you on YouTube." You think, "Oh, right, thanks." But I mean, again, you just have, like, kind of explain to them, "Look, me and Bruce, we're only exactly the same as you. We just love motorbikes, love doing stuff, and love getting out there. And the only difference is that I've got something recording at the same time, and then I enjoy pissing about editing afterwards."
Yeah. I hate it when you go somewhere, you do something, and then you get back and then you see someone like leaves a comment, "Oh, I saw it at such and such, but I didn't want to come up and say hello. I didn't want to bother you." And it's like, no, come and say hello. Just come up and say hello. Like, people, it's crazy, isn't it? People just seem to think, I don't know, that I don't know. They feel like they can't. Well, other people think nothing of it, do they? You can be in mid-conversation with someone and people just walk straight up and literally stand between you and start talking. But some people just don't. I don't know. They just seem to feel like they can't come up and chat to you. So no, come up and say hello.
I mean, obviously, I don't get it the same as yourself, Bruce, because I mean, you're like a really, really well-known face.
I don't know. I don't know if I am. I get it. I get people coming up and saying hello and stuff, but
no. I mean, like when we was on the Isle of Man that year. I mean, I know I sent you a couple of messages, and you was only at the Sefton, which was a few doors away from where I was. But I thought, you're busy doing your own thing, with your clan and stuff like that. I didn't want to come and like barge in and start saying hello and stuff, because, I thought, you're busy and you're doing your own kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that. You should have though. You should have just come and said hello. Christ, no bother.
Yeah,
no bother.
I definitely will do next time. What I'd really like to do is get you in the back of the Tuk Tuk and interview you. But
I'd love to.
Whilst I'm taking you somewhere in the Tuk Tuk.
Right, let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's do that.
Yeah,
genuinely, let's do it. That'll be great fun.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, definitely. I'm up for that.
Yeah.
Last question from people. Nathan Turner. Good day from Saskatoon. Keep up the podcast, Bruce. Have you considered a trip across Canada? I did a trip from Saskatoon to Revelstoke and back last year with a mate from the UK, and it blew our minds on 1983 Goldwing and a 1984 Yamaha. Mount Rushmore next. Canada, what do you reckon? Would you head there?
Yeah. Well, so one of my friends, Monkey Mark, he's got relatives there. Like his relative, Lyndon, he's the lead singer from a band called Rhymes with Orange, and apparently they're massive in Canada. So he goes over every year, and they normally get Indians because he's got an Indian bike, and they just go and hit the roads for a few days. But he'll be back over there in a week or two, and he talks about how fantastic it is, and then seeing his videos with some of the roads are on just look amazing. Yeah, so yeah, it is somewhere I'd love to ride.
Whereabouts in Canada does he go then? Do you know?
I'm not sure, but I think this time they went across to that island that which is on the west side of Canada.
Oh, the Killer Whale one, the one where the orcas all hang around.
I'm not sure. Sure, but he's talked about going onto an island this time, and that's at is it Vancouver Island? Is it?
I think maybe it is Vancouver Island. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
There's an island off the west that is renowned for like orcas. Orcas just live all around there. I only know because on the big trip, one of my charities was Born Free, and that was one of the places I was supposed to be going to, but it just didn't work out, sadly. But I remember that. Yeah. Right, that's all those questions. We haven't covered the Dragon Rally. You mentioned it there. Now, the Dragon Rally, can you explain that to anyone that's never heard of it or experienced it?
So the Dragon Rally is open to any bikes you get. I mean, it started in the 1960s, so it's been going 60-odd years now. And it's done in the end of the first week in February on purpose so that it's, the worst possible conditions. And it was proper for like diehard bikers. And back in the day, most of the time it'd be snowing, when they do it. And it was like a bit like the Wales version of the
Elephant Rally.
Germany. So, and then one of the people who first organised that is a guy called Bruce Pollard, and he died a few years ago. So they have a rally called the Bruce Pollard Rally the night before the Dragon Rally. So you get your tickets for the Dragon Rally. You get to the checkpoint, and you only find out on the day whereabouts in North Wales it's going to be. And then you just get the coordinates, all head off there and camp in a field somewhere. And the first year I did it 5 years ago, there was nothing on the place, nowhere to get shelter. It was tough. But then they did it on the Isle of Anglesey at the near the airport thing, near the showground. And they had like a massive hangar with like their bands playing and stuff, which was nice. But every year since then, it's been about 8 to 10 degrees. So it's been a bit of an anticlimax for me because that first year it was tough. And I've got all the gear now to make it so that I can survive it. And kind of like take all that stuff in the trailer and that, or I've been on the CT, and you get there thinking, right, no matter what happens now, I've got things for all the elements, and you're dying for it to snow, and it doesn't. But
Sorry, go on.
Go on.
Sorry, I was just going to say, I've got a mate of mine who's been going for like years, decades, and he talks with fond memories about those days when it used to be like you'd freeze to death. It was you were doing everything you could not to die of frostbite. But he said it's now the point where you got more chance of drowning than actually freezing now. It's just
I mean, the last 3 years it's been held at the same place near the Menai Bridge, and I was considering not going next year because the same place for 3 years. They've got, I mean, I'm gluten free, so I can't have burgers and stuff like that they have there. But they've got a burger van, they've got a pizza van, and you think that's not what it was set up to do. It's like it's not doing what it says on the box. Yeah. So it's a shame. I'd love to see it spread out and do other bits and pieces, but I did the Bruce Pollard for the first time this February, and that was brilliant. It's this little campsite. There's a pub on the campsite. Everybody goes in there and gets absolutely smashed. Yeah. And then you just go and camp. It's great. So I'm definitely doing the Bruce Pollard next year, but some people just stay an extra night at the Bruce and get smashed another night. So I'll see how I feel because, but the nice thing about the Dragon though is you'll go there, you get,
sorry, it's me dog.
You get like a little, for your ticket's about like 27 quid, 30 quid, but you get your camping for that. But you also get like a little goodie bag that's got like a little bottle of like say vodka or whatever in, rum. You get a couple of chocolate bars. You get like a slate coaster because it's Wales with that year's Dragon thing on, and then you'll get like a pin badge as well, which is like enamel, which is really well made. So it's nice to get all that stuff as well each time. But I mean, that first year I did it was that bad the weather. I'd say about well over a third of people turned up, got the goodie bag and just turned around and buggered off.
Left.
Yeah, which I couldn't understand. So I wrote a song about it. If you look back at my videos on Dix Adventures, you'll see the video I did about the Dragon Rally.
I'll check that out. Have you ever done the Elephant Rally? The German?
No. So that's on the bucket list. So the Elephant Treffen, yeah. But there's one German guy on a monkey bike, and he does the Elephant Rally, the Bruce Pollard, then the Dragon. So the Elephant Rally is about a week before the Dragon Rally. So he does all three of them, which is just crazy.
Wow. Dave's done that. Dave, the sidecar dog. He's done it. Yeah. Mate, I think it was last year or year before he did it. I remember following him on Instagram. Yeah, that looked carnage over there. Absolute carnage. It does.
I mean, just trying to get there on a small bike, it's just the amount of time it'd take to get across. It'd be a bit of a killer. Yeah. Say that the Dragon Rally as well. That there seems to be some kind of a tradition where I get woken up about 1 o'clock in the morning every year by random people. It's crazy. So, and you'll see these on the videos. There's one, and because I did the song, this and it's to the tune of Men of Harlot, like Lonely Are the Brave, and so I did this song about the Dragon Rally, and they have a guy who plays the pipes. 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm fast asleep in my tent. Jesus. I heard these bagpipes start outside my tent, and there's like about 800 people camping, like, and these bagpipes are playing, and all of a sudden my tent opens, and he's saying, "Dean, are you singing?" And then I just start, like, I'm half asleep, just start singing this Men of Conway song that I made up, like to this guy playing bagpipes at 1 o'clock in the morning. It's just bizarre. So and there's about 8 people standing around with pints, just listening and singing along. You're thinking, fucking, where's that?
How did this happen? Yeah.
And then was it year before last, 1 o'clock in the morning again? These 2 guys turn up who they became monkey revolutionaries because I started the monkey revolution just before I did the first of my Dragon rallies, and some of the people from the Dragon were my first Dragon, people who joined the monkey revolution, and So one of the guys, Rob, and I can't think his mate's name, but they like have like C90s, and they turned up on these C90s at 1 o'clock in the morning, pissed up on this field, and I was wearing like one of them sleeping bags that's like a sleeping bag like suit, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I come out my tent, and they're pissing their sides, laughing at this this sleeping bag that I'm wearing, and but they're saying things like, "Heard you have a wank in that?" But instead, funny because one of them looks just like Ricky Gervais, Rob, and he's saying, "Well," he says, "that's the best form of contraception I've ever seen in my life." He said, "Your wife's not getting pregnant while you're wearing that." But they're just coming out with like silly, like just stupid things. But it's only about 3 minutes long, the video, but it's worth watching because one of them, he says, "We've never seen anything like it." Because it's what I'm wearing. Yeah, it's crazy. But it just seems to be the thing that 1 o'clock in the morning at the Dragon, it's like, let's go and wake Monkey Dix up.
Well, you've not helped matters now saying it on this.
Oh, shit, yeah. So
anyone that sees this that goes, they'll be like, right.
Yeah, but it's all part of the fun, isn't it?
Set your alarms.
You want to get on a video, go and wake me up at 1 o'clock in the morning and sing me a song or something.
Take that as a challenge, people. Take that as a challenge. Dean, that's all the questions, mate. We've gone through everything.
Yeah.
Is there anything we've not covered that you want to shout out, promote, chat about?
Yeah. So I know I mentioned briefly before about food-type breast cancer, but again, as I'm an ambassador now, I feel it obliged really as well to like let people know, like for the partners, etc., and the women who are watching, to check themselves. So one of the pictures I sent you was when I got the Tuk Tuk, because the pink Tuk Tuk had like food-type breast cancer on. This one, I'm thinking of getting some like magnetic things put on for like for going to fairs and things like that with food-type breast cancer, which is like with a picture saying, "I took a look, have you?" And basically just like, because people always take photographs around the Tuk Tuk. So by the time they get home, they think, "Oh yeah, I will check myself," because
that's a good idea.
Like, it could make the difference between somebody catching something early enough,
Well, mate, yeah. I lost my mum to breast cancer. Well, it started as breast cancer. Yeah, sadly. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, good on you, mate. Good on you. Cool.
Okay.
Right, I will leave all the links down below, both for Dean's channel and obviously for Boot Out Breast Cancer and his man club.
www.bootoutbreastcancer.com.
Lovely job.
Yeah, is the one for that.
If you're watching the vids, folks, have a look at the description. All the links will be down there. If you're listening to the audio podcast, have a look at show notes. All the links will be in there, folks. So make sure you check them out and do what needs to be done. Dean, it's been an absolute pleasure, man. Finally, to get a chat. We've been chatting on the old messenger DMs on Insta for, feels years now, I think.
Yeah, probably about 3 years since we did since I was on the Isle of Man and you was there at the same time, yeah.
Well, it's good to finally chat with you, man.
Look, great to talk to you, Bruce, and be great to meet you in person. And look up at your immense size and take you in the Tuk Tuk.
I'm 100%. I'm 100% up for doing the Tuk Tuk thing. That'll be great. And for meeting up with you in person. So
yeah, they're brilliant.
Obviously we'll keep in touch anyway on the old DMs and stuff. We'll figure out a date and stuff, and let's get it done.
Okay, fantastic. Cheers, Bruce. Cheers, everybody.
Pleasure. Folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. Keep doing your thing. Look after those that you love. Get on out there whenever you can. But most importantly, live your life. Woo-ha!
Viva.